bad matchup
We
for Priest,
thought
obviously.
that, oh, we are getting into the game here.
All right.
Again, this is Kungen versus HunterMing. I don't know who's playing who, but someone's playing Hunter. Oh, and it's not HunterMing. It's Kungen. All right.
Well, yeah, here we go. Volatile best-of-3 format. Kungen is not a player I think most people expected to win this tournament, although he's definitely not a bad player. But just by virtue of rolling the correct die against a completely unknown opponent, it is almost impossible for him to lose this match now. So let's see how this goes.
You think Hunter's still like undefeated against handlock?
It's not undefeated, but it's extremely lopsided. It's like 70-30.
What, isn't that about what the rogue does?
Against handlock, yeah.
Yeah.
You can see Kungen drew these mythical creatures that cost less than 5 mana. Those are going to let him have a play on turn 2 and 3, rather than using Steady Shot, which is in fact going to deal more damage. Yeah, dagger to the face, not so much.
Okay.
This isn't bad though. Definitely a good hand for him. The cards he's looking for are
well, he has a
Hunter's
1-2-3. This is actually very good. But
the 1-2-3 is surprisingly irrelevant against handlock. Like, you want the 1-drop, but beyond that, it doesn't really matter like what stuff you're playing. The important thing is to just have Hunter's Marks. Okay, well, HunterMing just used his coin with his triple 5-drop hand, which is basically just going to give Kungen a free extra turn to bash his face in rather than being able to coin Belcher into Belcher.
Yeah, 4 Belcher, 5 Belcher does have a lot of stopping power against Hunter, because even the Hunter's Mark is not that effective.
I mean, as far as hands go that can actually beat Hunter, HunterMing actually has a pretty good one. Like, the Sludge Belchers are definitely your most important card, along with Molten Giant. Those are the things you want to see for sure. A lot of times, Hunter just doesn't really have the time to afford to play around Molten Giant, so they kind of have to make the handlock have it, and that's how you end up beating them. He's also got Draxus in his deck. We saw that in Mulligans, which is going to be important if he can drag it out to turn 9. That'll get him out of burn range.
You pump out the bow and kill the 2-1?
I would, yeah.
Okay. The freeze trap is quite effective as well against the handlock creatures.
It can be. Most of the time, what they end up doing is just playing a Sun Fury or a Defender, and then handlock doesn't have to attack, so they just play the Sun Fury or Defender, and then they're protected because their large creature has taunt, and then the 2/3 Defender will proc it, the freezing trap. So,
what do you think about? What do you think about Snake Trap there?
It's a solid card. I mean,
it's a solid card, but in this spot, it kind of sucks, doesn't it?
Is that the one? Is the one he got up Scientist,
Yeah,
right? Yeah, I mean, he'd prefer freezing, but
I think he'd prefer even explosive.
Yeah, it's kind of rough. I mean, it generally is the best 3rd trap in most Hunter lists, but a lot of people prefer to play 3 traps over 2,
man.
just so Mad Scientist always is
that
live.
Hound Master.
Yeah, the dream. I guess you just play it, right?
Oh my god.
Oh boy. Okay, I know what list this is. Yeah.
I don't think things are going Kungen's way at all right now.
Yeah. Oh, he has Hunter's Mark though. Most people who play the double Snake Trap Juggler Unleashed list.
I just feel like these terrible turns are leading into Sludge Belchers and Siphon Souls and Lothebs, and you can't win anymore.
Yep, definitely. The Sludge Belchers are gonna kind of just close the game out. Honestly, there's really no way to push through 2 of them back to back. I don't think. That's not to say that Kungen is out of it. It's could be a lot worse. It's interesting that HunterMing's just like not attacking at all into the bow charge. I think he really does expect explosive. It's like the only trap that it makes sense to not attack against, you know. Kungen's just gonna keep hero powering, slowly but surely.
Yeah, he's got the Unleash Hunter's Mark combo.
That could be good. I mean, in order to fit cards like Double Snake Trap, Unleash the Hounds into your Hunter deck, you have to cut something, and a lot of people end up actually shaving Hunter's Mark, believe it or not.
What do you think about this? Attacking into probably a Snake Trapped Creeper.
I think that HunterMing, like I said, expected it to be Explosive Trap, which is why he basically waited for Kungen to play a creature so that he could trade Sun Fury off and get value rather than just having it die and give Kungen another bow charge. But it ended up being Snake Trap, which is not a card that's on most people's minds. He does have the Hellfire if he wants to use that this turn. I don't think it's the best play. He'd probably just drop Sludge Belcher. But maybe you Hellfire this turn and then Sludge Belcher next turn. starting to take a lot of damage.
I feel like if you don't Hellfire, you're going to take a lot.
The question is, are you even going to have time to play both Sludge Belchers after you Hellfire? I mean, you're going to have to play Siphon at some point just to gain 3 life, you know, to play around Kill Command. It's, all of a sudden not looking as bad for Kungen as it sort of did a couple turns ago.
But I feel it's a consequence of inadequate play around traps.
A little bit, yeah. I mean, I don't think his play was awful. I think if I was playing on the NA metagame right now, I'd expect more Snake Trap than Explosive. But on the China servers, you know, who can say? Explosive Trap is usually more popular. It's only this
I think
week,
I'd
really.
Go with Kill Command here, even though I wouldn't have a Beast.
Yeah, I agree with that. Card is very important. Alright, well. Now Kungen has to decide, you know, do I want to play around Molten or not? There's always this worst case scenario combination of cards that Handlock could have in hand. Sun Fury plus Molten, or just like some AoE spell if you hold off, like Shadow Flame. He's really just debating whether it's worth it to move in on that attack right now. Decides against it. This is coming up on, I mean, turn 6, there's... HunterMing could play like any 5-drop, he could play... probably, yeah, he could play Mountain Giant right now if he wanted. Like, I don't think that...
I think you have to play Lothab here.
Yeah. I just don't think it was right to wait for Kungen to... I think he should have attacked there.
You think so?
Because given that HunterMing's going to have 6 mana this turn, he's going to have a good play no matter what. He's got a bunch of 5-drops in his deck. Mountain Giant's playable here, Twilight Drake. Like, any creature, by not attacking there, you're just giving them time to play. So.
Actually, do you just Siphon Soul?
Siphon Soul is definitely the play I would make this turn.
Okay. Yeah, I was thinking Lothab to just maybe take over the board, but you'd probably eventually die if you just keep that up.
Yeah, no, you can't afford to play Lothab. There's no way he's going to get to play all his cards this game. Oh, jeez. Well, that'll do.
I don't think that's lethal.
It's not lethal, but it also makes it nearly impossible for Handlock to win.
Yeah.
Given that he can't drop.
I think it's very close to lethal, actually.
Yeah, I mean, he can't do it all this turn. I guess, would you Unleash the Hounds right now? And then, yeah, I think that's what I would do. I would Unleash the Hounds, Hunter's Mark, use the Bow Charge to take out Slime, and then go face with Houndmaster. Seems like the best option.
Okay.
Yeah, I mean that was definitely a good choice on Kungen's part to take the Kill Command off the tracking, but drawing the second one was
a bit unfortunate.
Yeah, it was very, very lucky. Like, that definitely closed the game out, whereas otherwise it would have been much closer, I think. All in all,
I
though,
mean, you replace one Kill Command with anything, and he's still like incredibly ahead. So I don't know.
That's true. He's got a lot of life gain in his hand, though, and some Sludge Belchers. I don't know. I think the real big mistake this game was coining Sun Fury when he had a triple 5-drop hand. Like, if HunterMing just let that Leper Gnome deal like 10 points of damage to his face, which, you know, doesn't feel great, but it really would have only been like 6 damage, I think. Then he could have had just a much better curve.
Is there any question of Siphon Souling here?
Sort of. I mean, if you develop a creature that lets you play around Freezing Trap a lot better, which HunterMing definitely has in mind.
Molten's going to cost 0 and you freeze it off anyway.
That's true. Yeah, maybe you just don't care about the 8 points of damage, let it get Freezing Trapped. I wonder if it's somehow possible for HunterMing to win this game.
It is.
Without ever, yeah, like, it's like very possible, right? Because he just
needs to dodge a beast.
He needs to never attack Kungen's creatures.
Yeah, it might never happen.
I mean, he's seen one Snake Trap. It should be on his mind now. If he plays around the second one, and the kill commands aren't turned on, that's a way he could theoretically do it.
You have to attack with the Molten.
Yeah, I agree with that.
it's free if it gets freeze trapped.
Oh, so now he knows what it is. Knows it's not explosive. Yep. Possibly snipe, but pretty unlikely. So now HunterMing can sort of craft a game plan around that. He doesn't have the mana this turn to double heal, but he can have a pretty strong Lotheb Earthen Ring turn. And okay, I guess this is way more defensive, but I guess
I like it.
I don't like that he doesn't have anything to Siphon Soul anymore, though. I guess Kungen's gonna play something. This game is so strange.
I think Kungen gets another turn as it stands. But
Yeah,
he's going to get another turn into Lotheb, which is useless.
Yeah, that's a good point. If he doesn't kill command now, Lotheb's just going to wreck him, and that's not a card that most people keep on their mind when deciding what play to make. Even if he knew, like, yeah, even if he was thinking about Lotheb, it's more likely that you lose the game by kill commanding now than you win the game by doing it, because knowing their hands, it's probably better for Kungen to just kill command now, but I think it's better to wait. It plays around your opponent just healing for 3, and because you can like draw a beast potentially. I don't know. It's such an insane game, honestly. Wow, I've never seen Hunter lose with double kill command drawn. But like I said, HunterMing had
have a beast.
Yeah. Well, that's the beauty of Snake Trap. I think if that was literally any non-snipe card, he would have won this game. Or non-snipe trap, rather.
Yeah. It really had to do with the mad scientist, I feel, at the start.
Yeah. Man,
That was not a snake trap.
does he play freezing? Maybe he just plays like double snake, one freezing, something like that. I've seen lists like that lately.
That would be pretty strange, wouldn't it?
It's actually like probably the most common Hunter list in this tournament.
Really?
Yeah, I think
No freeze, double snake?
a couple North American players have started playing this Unleashed Juggler thing. It's, yeah.
I think it's easy play. He just Siphon Soul the juggler. He couldn't kill you last turn with 10. He can't kill you with 11.
That's true. Yeah, not through a taunt. It's just not possible. So.
And, I mean, if you're really paying attention, you'd know that the card he played is the one he drew.
Yep.
Could even taunt up to 8/8. Make it more impossible. Because right now, he's dead to Owl.
Yep. Well, if Kungen draws Frostbolt.
Oh, if he gets
He
Owl,
can
he's
win
dead
this.
anyway, actually.
Alright, well,
What?
I don't understand. Oh, Lotheb happened, though, so.
No, Kungen just won. Because the juggler just hit
He
face.
just. Yeah.
That could not have been worse. You're in a spot where you can't lose the game and you managed to find a way.
It's not even like he had the player on double kill command. He just had to, like, player on one kill command. The most likely card in Kungen's hand. I've been playing mostly so far. Oh, you're right. Good call.
Second mage.
Oh, my bad. I saw the, whoops. I only saw Kungen's half. Alright. So is this mage
Do
aggro?
you keep Animal Companion and Hunter?
I
I
mean,
thought you just fish out that Undertaker.
no, sometimes when you have coin, most matchups you keep Animal Companion. It's
Okay.
really matchup dependent.
Alright.
It's like the best card against Priest, for example.
And what do you do here against an Undertaker? Do you coin Juggler?
I think so. I don't think waiting is right, because then your 2 drops get stuck in your hand basically till turn 4.
Oh, what?
I don't understand this play at all, but I'm sure there is some thinking behind it. It lets you trade with like a Loot Hoarder, I guess, and then develop
I
Juggle.
think his idea is if the opponent has another card, then he can juggle and sack.
Yeah, that might be true. Oh, wow. Okay, so if he plays Juggler, it's a pretty bad trade for Kungen here, so he's going to want to avoid that. Hunter's Mark doesn't really accomplish much. I still think you... Oh, man, it's such a bad trade, but you still have to play Juggler, I think. Like, nothing else really makes sense on curve.
Is there any way you'd kill the mad scientist? I mean, probably not, but is there any way you'd kill the mad scientist there? Maybe to,
Not that I saw. I mean, you could maybe tracking into Stone Touch
I mean,
Boar.
this is like an aggro-y type mage deck. We see the Kirin Tor. It probably has duplicate.
Yeah, it looks more or less like the Fishues list from the Europe BlizzCon. I'm not entirely sure, though. I don't remember if that deck played Kirin Tor or not. But yeah, this matchup, like in my honest opinion, I think it favors Mage most of the time. Hunter just doesn't have any healing, and the Mage deck can race it in a lot of situations. And even if the Mage deck can also fight for early game board control just as well as Hunter, but if it loses that board control, Mage just plays more burn to randomly cheese the opponent out than Hunter does. Hunter's really more of a board control deck now than it used to be because of the Unleash and Leroy nerf. They're really not playing Leroy anymore, so your only real burn is the 2-kill command. And yeah, burn is pretty important in aggro matchups.
I feel on that note, though, in terms of just trying to play the control game, Kungen's hand is quite good right now.
Yeah.
I mean, there's nothing a HunterMing can play that doesn't get bowed down. And then you follow that up with Animal Companion, and you can try to fish something out tracking in the same turn.
Oh, that's a really interesting play.
Do you think that was worth it? Yeah, I'm not so sure.
It wasn't awful. You know what? It's fine because you might draw traps. So like Kirin Tor will have more value late game. Yeah, okay. So yeah, Bo does help him control the board, but the thing is, he's never killing all of HunterMing's creatures. So HunterMing's always going to be outputting damage. And I mean, if you get to the mid game where it just becomes a, you know,
you like
a
the
matchup.
Kirin Tor there? I like the Loot Hoarder a lot better.
Yeah, Kirin Tor is the correct play, I think.
Why?
Loot Hoarder is just mana inefficient. You end up hero powering face.
Oh my god. Double Med Scientist Web Spinner off the track.
Yeah.
That's pretty rough considering this hand.
Yeah, so the way most of these Undertaker mirrors go, regardless of what class the deck is both players jockey for board control early, and then the player that wins that board control war ends up being about 10 life points ahead. And that just makes it easier to like, you end up being the one going face while your opponent trades, and eventually you burn them out.
Yeah, but like, if you play the Loot Hoarder, you would have drawn into the duplicate, the Loot Hoarder, or the 2-2 would have died the same. You only do like 2 extra damage. You get a better combo tempo later.
You might be right about that. I don't know. It's no guarantee he would draw a trap there, and this is fine, I think. So yeah, HunterMing has a huge lead in life totals, but it doesn't look like this Mage deck has that much burn, honestly. I don't know if it even plays Fireball or Ice Lance. I doubt it plays Ice Lance because Duplicate is not a card you normally see in aggressive Mage decks. I'm sure this is more of a mid-rangey, maybe like Ragnaros finisher type of...
Now, we saw that Freeze Trap was drawn, but we don't know what the secret was from the Mage.
It's true. Freezing Trap, apparently. He just drew... he drew a 1-mana 3/4. That is definitely not bad here. Like, it's exactly what you want to see. Kungen does have one of the Hunter lists with Unleash, though, so having 3 creatures out is always a bit scary. It's not nearly as punishing to get Unleash the Hounds as it used to be, though, because
That's
now...
pretty punishing there.
Yeah.
It kills all of them with Hunters.
It's not alongside a free sprint, though, so there's that. It's very
Kungen doesn't have a
slow.
good answer, though. I mean, he's going to have to probably get like a taunt here.
Yeah, Kungen's hand is exactly what you want to see when you play against, like, Priest,
God.
for example, but...
You try again with Animal Companion? I think I might.
I would. Well, I don't know. Your Hunter's Marks kind of suck if you Animal Companion, right? So you want to go Undertaker, Hunter Creeper, so you can Hunter's Mark next turn
I think
if
you
you
just
need
need a Misha. Nope.
I don't know what world you live in, Crip, where that card gives you anything other than Leok.
Okay.
In Arena Land, that might be the case. In Constructed, it is 99%.
In Arena, what happens is someone plays like a Raptor, and you coin Animal Companion. Then they Shattered Sun the Raptor, and you lose your Leok.
Oh, man.
That's what happens in Arena.
Oh, God.
Death Rattle Mage with duplicates. Interesting.
Yeah, it's good. Definitely solid. The thing that's kind of scary when you play so many of the Death Rattle creatures is, you know, if you randomly duplicate like Harvest Golem token, that's really awkward. Duplicate really makes you want to only have quality creatures sitting out there, and even Mad Scientist is not something you necessarily want on the board when you have an active duplicate, because a lot of times you just don't have any more traps in your deck to trigger with your Million Scientists. So Duplicate's a strong card, and the Undertaker package is strong, but combining the two has its drawbacks as much as it is strong some of the time.
I think right now he's very ahead, even though Lotheb isn't easy to kill. Oh.
Oh,
What?
okay then. Well,
I guess it is easy to kill.
yeah. That makes some sense. You know, Undertaker decks really do just... they're mid-rangey, but they're fast when they draw the Undertaker. The point is you jockey for board control.
Oh, no. No, that's not the card. There you go. Play that one first.
Yep. Cards like Sludge Belcher tend to make your opponent overextend too, which is something I'm sure HunterMing's playing, so... when your opponent extends that many creatures onto the board, Flame Strike ends up being a lot more effective.
Mm-hmm.
So not super surprising to see it there, but definitely a good draw nonetheless.
Is it time to double Undertaker Death Rattle combos?
Yeah, man, Undertaker is just such a gross card. Oh, man. It's so insane.
I think I would have played the Blood Mage.
Would you? And just let the Undertaker live?
He didn't have Kill Command. He didn't have Unleashed like 2 turns ago.
That might be better. This is not when Kungen wanted to see Flare, because, I mean, he's so far behind at this point, he probably has to cycle it.
Yeah.
But it's also one of his best cards against Mage. It's probably past the point where Flare value is relevant, though, and he's just so far behind he has to... You probably have to, like, Flare into Unleash the Hounds this turn and then draw Juggler next turn. That's probably the best chance for winning. Even then, I don't know. You have to draw Buzzard next turn, honestly. He's got the mana.
Draw Buzzard. I don't think there's any hope for Kungen at this point.
No, Undertaker decks are just so powerful against Hunter when they draw the early game. And this time the Mage definitely did. It doesn't even really matter what class either. You see, like, Undertaker Priest has a really good time against Hunter, whereas Control Priest has a harder time. Just little things like that.
Killed that so Flare gets value. Except if it's counterspell.
Yeah.
Black Knight.
It's not bad.
It is now.
I mean, yeah, it's just... This game is so over. You have to play Knight. There's no choice here. I don't think you can win by playing Kill Command. Alright, well... I don't think you can win by playing Black Knight either, so...
Yeah, you can win regardless, so...
Alright, how does Kungen win this game? HunterMing plays...
needs to draw a big taunt or something.
I was going to say, he needs
Like
to
a
play
Sunwalker.
Ironbark Protector this
Yeah.
turn, and then... Black Knight comes down. Oh, man. Just going through the motions at this point. Hunter is very bad at climbing back from behind, especially against minions with 3 or more health.
There it is.
Yeah, a little late. But doesn't really have any of the supporting cast anyway to do what he needs it to. Oh, yeah.
That 1 drop value.
Undertaker is a hell of a card.
And 2 more.
Yep.
So, I think that's 5 Undertakers this game.
Yeah. It's tough to beat.
He has his own Black Knight.
Yep. I like running a Polymorph here. I'd probably trade the Blood Mage, yeah.
There is counterspell, actually.
It's true. Alright. Well, pretty dominant game from the Mage deck. Had a really strong early game, just kind of snowballed that. So, yeah. Well played, I think.
There was nothing to really do.
Recently, the aggro ones are back, so cards gotten better. Let's
Warlock. You going with Hand or Zoo? Oh,
Handlock, guys. I think
spoiled.
these are the only 2 decks I've ever seen Kungen play, so I think not that he can't play other stuff, but I think he's going to gravitate towards what he's comfortable with, like most players.
I mean, last time I saw Kungen play Handlock, he didn't play it
we
very well.
don't want to talk about that game.
Okay. Yeah, that's fine.
I don't know if that was the game 1 tonight might have been a little bit better. So it's a very interesting strategy Kungen is looking to mulligan the Mountain Giant and keep the other 3, whereas I would have done the literal opposite of that. Yeah.
Well, he likes Lotheb. I don't mind Lotheb too much, maybe.
I think it's worse than Stranglethorn Tiger against this particular mage deck, but we'll see. It's not a card I really want to see in my opener, you know.
Oh no.
Oh.
Here comes exact same
God.
thing. Maybe he's learning from
The
the
beautiful
Chinese
part of
player.
this is like, oh man, Death Rattle's gonna happen. So he's gonna wanna like Mortal Coil, but he needs to tap. It's just so rough. Yeah. Oh god, no. That is the best Undertaker I've ever seen in my life. I got a coin, a Sun Fury, a Mortal Coil, and a Ruin Kungen's Curve on turn 4. This is a really rough start for him. I mean, Handlock does scale a lot better than the Mage deck does, and, you know, the Mage's Draw isn't great.
Mirror Entity might be a lot of fun right now.
Oh, yeah. That card's very strong against Handlock. Very tough to play around.
I think you Mana Worm Ping here. I think it's actually a pretty easy play.
You might be right about that. I like just trading. I don't think the Blood Mage holds any, if much value. I don't think it holds that much value, especially with that hand. Like, I would just take this turn to spend some of my mana and then trade the Blood Mage.
Oh, now you can't Soulfire. Like, you literally can't Soulfire. You need every card in that hand.
Yeah, it's I think the Farseer deals with Mana Worm decently well anyway. You don't really need to Soulfire here, not just yet.
Oh man, Frostbolt.
Yeah. I feel like HunterMing's just kind of in an awkward spot with these 3-mana plays because he chose not to trade the Blood Mage last turn. I mean, yeah, Blood Mage is a cool card and all, but you, just given the context of his hand, it's not that important. I think I would have just traded it off in order to effectively gain 2 crystals one turn.
Look at Kungen's hand for awkward plays.
Well,
oh, there goes the Molten.
this is.
Who needs that?
I'm not gonna chalk that one up to luck. This was a choice he made.
Okay.
He kept half of that hand, so. Let's see. Kungen's plays from here on out are gonna be pretty straightforward. Drop big taunt cards. Hope he's not dead.
I don't even think Mirani's bad right now. I mean, think of Kungen's last few turns. He's played nothing. He's obviously only got like removal and big creatures. And if you play Undertaker, Mirani deals with both of them.
If HunterMing did choose to make room for a lot of these cards by cutting Fireball, that's really going to get him wrecked by Jiraxis, I think.
Okay.
Like, if you don't have the burn late game to finish him off, like, a fair deck just can't keep up with Jiraxis. I think the only play here is Undertaker Mirror Entity.
Yeah. But I think just in general you'll play a Sludge Belcher, so he just likes it too much.
Yeah. I guess a bit of a tough call. I mean, he should be expecting Kungen to play a Sludge Belcher, and you don't really want Sludge Belchers facing off. Playing Mirror Entity is playing a Sludge Belcher.
He likes his own Sludge Belcher more.
Alright. I guess the Mirror Entity will still be good later, probably.
Oh my god. Do another round with Soulfire Jiraxis Revolver.
I think he's dropped Lotheb.
Yeah, Lotheb's easy.
Now how good does HunterMing's hand look? Oh my god, that Lotheb is so strong here.
Yeah.
Do you suicide the Blood Mage now into the Lotheb?
Yeah. Yeah, get another one.
So that's a great draw. Although, Shadow Flame is absolutely absurd here. Kungen doesn't have it, though. It does happen when you don't life tap that much early. A lot of times you're missing your
giant plays.
Yeah, just like your swingy plays that...
Oh my god. Soulfire with that hand.
Yeah, I don't know. The giant doesn't matter. I don't think the defender really matters either. I think just the Belcher and the Jiraxis do. It's like a 50-50.
Yeah, but it's a 50-50. You'd Soulfire first. Wouldn't you want, like... Isn't Jiraxis, like, 5 times more important than another Sludge Belcher?
No, God, no. Sludge Belcher is, like, the best creature in the game. Sludge Belcher is always the right play. Doesn't matter what, like, I mean, I get what you're saying, though. I just don't think there's anything worth soul firing on that board right now.
Mm-hmm. Well, Black Knight's okay because at least Lothab demands some kind of value.
Yeah. That's a great Black Knight for the Mage deck for sure. I mean, now board control is just completely out of Kungen's hands, so it's not looking great. Like, he really wants the Hellfire here, but then he's not doing much else, and going low against a Mage is pretty scary.
Is he tapping? I think he's tapping.
Yeah, I think it's right. I mean, tap Hellfire Soulfire is probably the play I'd make.
I think he's gonna do tap Sludge Belcher Soulfire.
I mean, that's an option, but you're playing a card that's much worse than Fen Creeper by doing that, because that onboard Undertaker is just going to finish off the second half of the Sludge Belcher. It's not a bad play, though, actually, because it would likely get Black Knight down to 2 health, and then the Hellfire next turn is going to be a lot stronger. Also gives you another draw towards Shadow Flame. Okay, that I don't understand, but alright.
Well, it sets up some kind of Hellfire next turn.
Well, if you're going to Hellfire next turn, why? It, like, saves you 3 life, because Sludge Belcher now has to attack the slime rather than his face.
I mean, it's not like he had a great turn. I think that was fair.
That was like the best or the second best play he had, most likely. Well,
Lothab.
it's got it. Well, yeah. Yeah, you just got a Lothab. Not really another option here.
I mean, you put the Warlock so low because you can't deal with your board that turn.
If you mirror entity and your opponent, or if you have a mirror entity and your opponent plays Draxus, you get a 315, right?
Yeah.
Okay. So.
And then you can panda him back and play him and become Mage
Oh,
Draxus.
oh man, Mage Draxus is OP.
Or the Warlock could play Draxus on the board, then you could faceless it, then you can panda it.
Ooh.
Yeah, there's some fun stuff out there that never happens to anyone ever.
I've seen some crazy decks be in shadow form before. Good old Lore Walker show. This looks like Nerve's getting to him. It's taking a while to make his decision. I don't think like it was a particularly difficult one this turn. Alright.
The best play is Owl Hellfire. But does Kungen know that? Nope. Hellfire Owl.
And not a bad play.
Yep. Pretty good. And that's as garbage as it gets.
Yep. And that Mountain Giant and Draxus have survived.
And I just
double
feel like
Soulfire.
if HunterMing played Lothab, he would have just won here.
Yeah. It's a little bit easier for us, of course, because we see the hands, but I think he could have made an educated guess on what Kungen's most likely play was, given how much mana he was going to have next turn. And, yeah, I feel like I would have sequenced things a bit differently as well.
See, now he's trying to push for damage. He could have done it last turn. And now, like, that extra damage that he dealt, like, just gets Draxus.
Alright, so you trade off.
You kill the owl, I think. Anything else is too ambitious.
What about playing Giant? Oh no, you just die. I'm sorry. I thought he was at 10 for some reason. Or, not 10, excuse me, like 12. His monitor's so far away. Alright, so good Drax's turn. The Mage just has so much power in play at this point, though, it just doesn't.
I think it might be alright. Like, if the Mage plays very little, he's going to play Water Elemental, we know that. But if he plays very little, the Siphon Soul brings him back up into
That's a
life
good point.
support.
Yeah, maybe he draws like a Shadow Flame. That would actually kind of wreck HunterMing's board.
Nah, he needs more. Oh, Shadow Flame off the Infernal, that's right, my mistake.
Yeah.
So if HunterMing goes all in and he draws a Shadow Flame, it's game over, basically.
I wouldn't say it's over. I mean, Kungen's going to have something like 2 health.
Or
He-
5.
E5, but then you have to attack the second half of Harvest Golem. Or am I blind? Or okay, there it is. And then the hero power takes you to 2. So.
Nope. That's a miss.
Yeah, I mean, it's game, boys.
Well, technically, Kungen went 0-3, but somehow ended up 2-1.
Yeah.
So.
Well, good for him.
Yeah.
Well played.